Hi everybody, today I'm going to talk about something that at times drives me absolutely crazy. What we're talking about. So in this intro and you'll soon find out. Today we're going to talk about loose hairs. A couple of types of loose hairs. There's a type of loose hair that come from your scalp where new hair's growing, and then there's the other type that comes out through the sides of your dreadlocks, and fuzzy bits, bumps, loops, etc, etc. So we're going to talk about the ones on your dreadlocks first. Now, if you look at your dreadlocks when they're mature, you can find that you still have loose bits. There you go, look, like that. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Well, you can get the scissors and you can snip them off, or you can get a crochet hook and hook them in, or you can leave them. Various thoughts on all of these matters. Some people say crochet hook, no, no, no. Some people say scissors, no, no, no. Some people think I've got loose bits sticking out, no, no, no. So what do we do? Well, if your dreadlocks are mature, it's not a major problem. If you want to leave it, fine, it's not going to do any damage. If you want to trim it off, now I'm not saying you should trim it off, because the last thing I want is for you to trim a little bit like that and your dreadlock goes on the floor, which I doubt very much. But it's not something that I want to encourage. But I would say that you're reasonably safe in cutting little bits off like that. Or the crochet hook, and I know people curse crochet hooks, but just putting a crochet hook through and just pulling a little bit through like that ain't going to kill your dreadlock, especially if you do it nice and gently. If you don't hammer it in and out, if you just put it in, hook it in and pull it through nice and gently, that's fine. Now the other scenario is if you've got nice new dreadlocks. Nice new dreadlocks means you're going to have loads of loose hair in your dreadlocks sticking out all over the place. If you start trimming them off, eventually you're going to end up with no dreadlocks. You're going to be up here. You're going to be back where you started. So I would definitely not recommend trimming loose hairs on your dreadlocks if they're not mature. And when I say mature, I mean at least a year, preferably 18-month-old, before you start doing that. Okay, so what about the loose hairs at the roots? Now this is new hair that's growing, it's new growth, and it's all it is hair that's not actually gone into dreadlocks yet. And if you look, especially here, I've got loads of it. Okay, a couple of things we can do. We can say, okay, I've got loose hairs, big deal, I'm going to leave them alone and let them just eventually end up in the dreadlocks. You can, like I do occasionally, go to a loctician and get them tidied up. Or the third thing you can do, get the old scissors out and trim them. Now, I would definitely not recommend this. The type that generally get on my nerves are the bits around the hairline here and round here and round a little less around the back of my neck. Generally speaking, they get on my nerves because they start fluttering in my face, or they start irritating the back of my neck occasionally. Now, what you want to do is let them grow. Okay, if you let them grow, they will mature and they will end up in the dreads eventually. If you start trimming them, now I would never dream of trimming these up here, but I have in the past trimmed some of these around the edges. And the problem is, you trim them and you think, oh, they look really, really nice and neat and everything. And about 3 or 4 weeks later, you're thinking, the buggers are growing back again, because that's what hair does. Don't matter what you do, the bloody hair keeps growing. It doesn't matter whether you're at work, gone for a swim, you're at the gym, out for a walk, fast asleep, your hair keeps growing. So all that you've trimmed off keeps growing back. And when it's that long, or that long, you can't do a thing with it. When it's a bit longer, you can wrap it round the dread, shove it in the dread, and try and tidy it up a little bit. Or you can wait 9 months, 6 months, 9 months like I do. And if you know a good loctician, go and see a loctician and they tidy it all up and put it back in. Oh, there's my phone going. But the last thing you want, and again, there you go. So the last thing you want is to start cutting the hair. Let it grow, okay? It's a lot easier to manage when it grows. If you start trimming it and cutting it off, you've had it. You can't do a thing with it. And all you end up doing is every fortnight or so, cutting it back. And it changes the look of your hairline as well. Makes your hairline look a little bit weird. So, I would definitely not recommend trimming loose hairs. And if you've got new dreads, it's even worse. With mature dreads, you still get loose hair. But with immature dreads, with new dreads that are a year old or less, 18-month-old or less, I know when my dreads were new, all that loose hair drove me insane. Now, because I've had them, a few years, it's kind of like, yeah, they go on my nerves a bit, but it's something you've got to live with if you're having dreadlocks. But when your dreadlocks are new, it drives you absolutely crazy. But you've just got to resist that temptation. Again, the old scissors out, okay? You're much better off just rolling them up, trying to shove them inside a dreadlock or something like that, just to tidy them up. Keeping your hair washed nice and clean helps it dread as well. So you've got a few options there, other than taking the scissors to your hair. So if you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and with a bit of luck, I will see you in the next video. Gonna go and take some photos now. See you later.